Hello, it's me again. So I'd like to cover more details about the additional graphs. I mean the Box-whisker plot and the scatter plot. So these are technically not univariate analysis because you are using two variables at once. So these are classified as the bivariate analysis. So that's why I'm not including this one in my lecture slide because it's a little bit more advanced method. So for your lab assignment or for your further assignments, these will be very useful, but not the format I will cover today's lab. So that's why I'm using my demonstration video. So if we want to go to the legacy dialog, and you could find those things. So why don't we go to the box plot first? Okay, you can go to the simple because usually you can just use very default options for all kind of the graphs. Go summarize the group by cases and define. Then you will see this one. Okay, so for the box and whisker plot, you'd need to have one categorical variable as the group identifier and one continuous variable, I mean the metric variable, as your outcome or dependent variable. So I would find the education variable, so which is the years of education, and probably the categorical axis will be race variable, probably. So I want to see the distribution of the education level by race. So in regular lecture, we saw that there was no many differences, but let's check by using the graph here. So variable, this is the outcome, and the education is our outcome, and the categorical variable is also race variable. So we have one categorical variable and one continuous variable. Then hit OK. Okay, so you can see this screen. These are the descriptive statistics, and then you can see the box and whisker plot. So from 0 to 20, you can see the median here. So the box indicates the interquartile range, I mean top 25% and the bottom 25%. So these are the range of the 50. So in this case, we can see that in the education level, a little bit very similar, but the whites are more likely to have the higher median, and the diversity, the race of the black has wider range of the interquartile range. So we will see, based on the Box-whisker plot, we would say blacks are more likely to have more diverse sampling distribution, I mean the diverse range of the education level, but we need to check the statistics altogether. So not only based on the graphics, we would need to use other statistics such as skewness and interquartile range or standard deviation. So not solely relying on the graph would be very helpful. All right, so the Box-whisker plot is done. And make sure that you need to have one categorical variable as a group identifier and one continuous variable, I mean one metric variable for your outcome variable. All right, so let's suppose that you have two metric variables. In that case, the scatter plot is very useful. So scatter plot. So simple, always. So let's suppose that you are interested in the education level and maybe their income. Let me see. So their income, maybe we need to check the information. If we want to check the information, you can just the main click. So for Mac users, control and the click, and for the MS Windows user, maybe you can use the right button of the mouse. I mean right button of the mouse. My daughter pointed out that. Alright, so you can see the respondent income, the people's income, and these are, oh, this is not the continuous variable, but still, let's try. So those numbers, the higher number indicates the higher income. And 27 and 98, these are the missing value, but let's see if they are included here. Our income as y-axis. Okay, and in this case, let's see the titles. So you can put your title as line 1, line 2, maybe a subtitle, association between education and income, and then continue, and okay. Alright, so you can see the association between education and income. The x-axis is the education level, and y-axis here, the vertical axis, vertical, horizontal, vertical axis is the y-axis, and that indicates income. So even though these are not, how would I say, not constant dollars, but we can see the higher number means higher income. And you can see that level of education, we can see the trend of going up. So the more educated are more likely to earn more income. And if we want to see the very trend of this scatter plot, you can double click and you will see this chart builder. Okay, oh, it's coming up big. Chart builder, and then you could try to show data labels. If you want to change the option of the data labels or the graph, you can always use this small icon here. So if you don't find my cursor, you can go here. Okay. Not very good, right? So because of the continuous variable, it's not very good usually when you do find the data labels. So I would rather delete the case here, then you will have the clean one, right? So again, for the continuous variable, it's not very useful to have the line. So instead of the data label here, we would use the add fit line at total. Not this one because we just have the two variables. So here, if you don't find my cursor is here, and add fit line at total. So it's finding the very adjusted line. So that's the trend line. Then linear. So we can choose other ones for the advanced statistics, but we are using just very simple data. So close it. See, this is the line. So we can see there is some positive association. It means that the more education, that is associated with the higher income. Okay, then you can just cancel this window, and then you can see this table. And this graph is generated very easily. So you can use those box and whisker plot and also the scatter plot when you have several types of the other variables. So by using those two variables, you can see the trend and the association. So actually these are a little bit more advanced, but when you do your assignment and when you do your final project or whatever, elsewhere you can use those statistics or those graphics. And also one more, some specific, very specific, so very limited situation when you have the dichotomous variable as your independent variable, I mean the categorical variable, group variable, whatever. And when you have your outcome variable as a continuous variable, you can also use the pyramid graph here. All right, so let's suppose that we want to know about the distribution of the income or education by gender. So let's find the gender, and that one is identifier and education level, EDUC, here and here. And then just simply go. If you want to add the title, you can add the title as pyramid graph of gender and education. Okay, I hope I don't have a typo here. Then okay. Alright. So based on the education level by the gender and the frequency, we would see the higher tendency. So in 2018, we can see the higher education level tendency of the female. So 12, that's the high school diploma, but 16, this is the bachelor's degree usually, and we can see the higher frequency in here. So this is because we have more female respondents, but still we can see the distribution by education level and by the gender. Alright, so by using those advanced methods, the age bivariate analysis, you can find many associations. Alright, so let's see next video.